How to make over $20,000 in the next 20 days virtually wholesaling real estate. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And we are not in our usual spot today in Florida. We are actually in beautiful Netherlands. So we are actually in Amsterdam. And pretty much what we're doing is traveling. And for really the next 20 days, me and Rick are kind of traveling all throughout Europe. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty interesting adventure. I miss my Chick-fil-A, but it's really cool to go out here and travel. And I thought, what would be best? You know, first I got to keep flexing on wholesaling gurus. I ain't going to stop my streams, right? But I thought, what would be cool for the next 20 days? I document pretty much, you know, me closing virtual wholesaling deals, right? Because I get people all the time, Zach, I'm in Europe. You don't understand. I just pulled up. What are we going to do now, right? And yeah, you know, there's a 6-hour time difference, and it kind of does suck a little. But I mean, I just got emails today of HUDs of deals that we closed. I mean, you can confirm it. We closed probably, you know, a couple good deals today in virtually wholesaling real estate, and that's every day. And for the next 20 days, it ain't going to stop. And like, if I decide to stay here for an entire month, I mean, it's a lot of deals to be done virtually wholesaling. And even today, the amount of deals that we're doing, I mean, we're doing very well with it. But I was like, okay, obviously it's easy for me, right? I have the infrastructure. I got all the VAs. I got the people at home, right? We're doing all the work. Like, the work's already being done. How about I document me doing even more deals virtually wholesaling and just show you the process? And what I want to do too is kind of institute it where you follow me. You kind of hear what I have to tell you to do. You'll see me do it too. And it's kind of like I'm doing a little extra, you're doing a little extra, and we kind of have this virtual wholesaling challenge. And I thought, why not do it while I'm stuck internationally doing it, right? Like, it makes sense for me. And so this is the challenge we have today, where we're looking to close 20 grand for you guys in the next 20 days in virtual wholesaling. And it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be pretty cool. But this is the process. Like, this is possible. I mean, I just did it today. I did it yesterday. And I'm going to keep doing it tomorrow. Deals every day. But what I want to do is show you how I would do it, virtually wholesaling with no money at all, with some money, and really in the next 20 days, make that $20,000. But guys, virtual wholesaling, it's not like it was 5 years ago. You can make a ton of money right now.
Yeah, I mean, I look back when I started in 2003. I think I did 1 or 2 virtual deals, and they were done completely by accident. And I remember thinking, it'd be really cool if you could do this anywhere in the country. I never took that leap because I was just so comfortable doing it in my backyard. So today, with the advent of technology and the efficiencies we have, you can really pick out any market you want to do. The only disadvantage, and it just takes a little bit of time, is just to learn your local market, to see what your cash buyers will pay, to see what the going rate is. Once you figure that out, honestly, other than physically being there, that's your only disadvantage. But the upside is so much greater than downside, because you get access to deals that you sometimes can't get in your back market if you're in a very expensive market, an extremely saturated market, and it gives you options. So we've already proven virtual wholesaling works. So you got to ask yourself, why am I not doing it? Well, listen, do your local market and do virtual. You can do both. You can do one or the other. You have to do what's going to suit you best. But you have more options in 2024 than you've ever had in virtual wholesaling. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we're excited. We're pumped up today. And so let's kind of get into it and see how you can make $20,000 in the next 20 days. And so we got the window open. It's not that bad. It's like 60 degrees out. Not terrible.
This will be our coldest day in Florida.
This is terrible. So let's talk about next 20 days, right? And I'm not here to flaunt a lifestyle to you. Oh, I'm traveling. I do this because I want to. But I think it's pretty cool to prove you doing deals from anywhere you really want. And so we're going to be documenting this for the next 20 days, obviously, in this challenge here. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. But remember, I'm going to be doing this challenge with you. This is a challenge. This is for you to do too. Heck, I'm forcing you to do this because I need you to get some results. Now, yes, the 30-day wholesaling challenge is going to be pretty much in July, and we're excited about that. But let's get a couple deals closed before the challenge happens. And so that is a wholesaling specific one, not a virtual wholesaling specific one. So it'll be pretty exciting here for everyone watching this. And so let's kind of talk about it. So again, let's kind of break down some beginner things if you have some questions so we can understand this and make it better. How do we do it, right? How do we virtually wholesale, right? Virtual wholesaling, guys and gals, again, is the process of wholesaling real estate when you are not near the property. And so we are in Amsterdam. How do I show it like this? Hold on. I don't know if people can see us behind us. There's no housing. I'm gonna be honest. Like there's no houses. I don't know if I can show the people here what I'm talking about, but like there's really no houses, and that's kind of the issue here, guys and gals. There's really, how do I show it? Can I show it like this? What does it say? Right. There's no houses. These are all like massive government-owned like things, right? Not government-owned, but a lot of these are like big companies own them. They rent the flats out for like $2,000 or $3,000. And I mean, hotel like this would be a lot more, but like that's it. It's all rentals. Like there's no private property to be wholesaling here. And this is kind of Europe in general. This is not a place to be wholesaling, guys and gals. Like it sucks. I'll be completely honest. Oh, you're too dark. I'll be completely honest. Like it sucks. This is not a good wholesaling real estate market. Now, what I would tell you though, instead, and this is something I'm a pretty big fan of, if you can go out here and go to where the areas are actually good for wholesaling, for example, if I decided I wanted to go to a beautiful North Carolina for wholesaling real estate, all I need is my phone. I got my internet connection here, and we're good to go. And that's pretty much it. Now, you might be asking yourself, Zach, what if you're from the Netherlands, right? Like, I have a thick accent. What are you going to do? Well, nobody cares. I'll be completely honest. Nobody cares about your stupid accent. Nobody cares about what you look like. Nobody cares what you sound like. The only thing your seller cares about is if you can help solve their issue. That is it. Straight up, that is it. And so if you're able to solve your seller's problem, which is them selling the property, you can sign that dang contract literally over the computer and then sell it to a buyer over the computer. You can do the walkthroughs easily. It's really simple. We're going to talk about this in this challenge. And then last but not least, you can get deals closed, wired to you. You can get any type of electronic overseas paperwork. You can do foreign bank account wires. It's all possible. And it all happens all the time. And the reason why I'm so confident is there are so many people in Europe, Asia, South America that are doing this, right? A lot of people in Africa doing this, right? Like this process has already been documented, and the amount of virtual wholesalers doing deals is only growing. And I hate to say it, like if you're in a country, making, $1,000 every single month, and you can go clear 20 grand, that's 2 years. That's 20 months salary in one wholesaling deal because you live in like Suriname, or you live kind of in maybe like what's the country? I mean, you could probably be in like, I don't know, Kenya. Like there's some area like the average salary is like $12,000, basically $12,000 a year. Like you can get that pretty simple, right? We just had a guy. He did a deal in. It wasn't Syria. I think it was Azerbaijan. He sent me another deal. I'm like, you make 30 grand out of Azerbaijan?
It changed your life.
Lord, what do you get for 30 grand in Azerbaijan? And so you can do this really easy. You just have to know in your head what to do. And here's the thing. You're watching this, like, you're like, Zach, I live in like Tanzania, I got no money. What do I do? I can't buy the systems. I can't get the software you're talking about. Like, guys, your average guru is going to tell you that you need to spend a lot of money getting virtual wholesaling. That is the farthest from the truth. You don't need to be spending a stupid amount of money. You could spend $0 getting virtual wholesaling. That's right. I don't care what your stupid bro guru has to say. You don't need the money at all. Me and Rick are here to give you the information. We make millions of dollars every single year wholesaling real estate. We're fine. I don't need your money. I trust me, guys and guys. I don't need it. All right. So we're fine. We're chilling. We're good. I'm just going to give you the free information. Maybe if you want, you can go out here and send me a JV deal so I can make, quick 15 grand. I think we had another JV deal today. Hopefully we can clear, a quick 8 to 9 on that's an interesting one. I didn't even know I closed the deal.
Forgot about it.
We kind of forgot about that one. That was kind of a funny one. But that was another process in wholesaling today. That's another saga. But really, you can live the life of your dreams wholesaling real estate. I'm not trying to blow smoke up you to make you feel good about this. Like, you can do it. If you just work hard, you know the right way to do this, you can clear a lot of money and do very, very well. And so virtual wholesaling is great. So how do we do it? And how can specifically you do it, right? I think that's the thing we need to talk about right here. How can you start closing deals in virtual wholesaling? It's going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to be a lot of effort. There's going to be some blood and sweat and tears, if you will. There's not going to be an easy road. And I want everybody watching this challenge, and I really want everybody watching this to really understand this. You want to make $20,000. Think about this really hard. Like, put this in your brain. You want to make $20,000. Is that a lot or a little amount of money when you have no money?
Depends on how you look at it.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You got no money. I mean, $1,000 is a lot, right? Yeah. And so we're talking about making $20,000. Now, let me put this in perspective for you, because I don't think people really understand this. If I'm broke and I say, Zach, and I say, will you lick the bottom of my shoe for $1,000 cash? You're probably going to lick the shoe. You don't, duh, right? Now, if I said $1, you're going to say no, right? People do some really crazy things for $500 to $1,000. Have you ever watched those YouTubers that give $1,000 if they do something stupid? I mean, I've seen people streak online, take their clothes off, run it wild for $1,000. What do you think someone's going to do for $20,000? Whoa, right? A guy will wash your car every day for the rest of your life, probably, for $20,000, right? And you think about it, how much work if you worked a regular job? Let's say you're doing data entry. I don't know. The amount of work you have to do to earn $20,000 is insane. Think about it, really. That's 8 hours of work every day, 5 days a week, for probably 6, 7, 8 months straight.
You basically sell your time.
Think about that. That's really a lot. And for you to be able to do that in just 20 days, that's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, am I selling body parts? Like, no. All I'm asking for you is 10 hours a week. I'm not asking 10 hours a day like your job, because you got to commute to work, get back. I'm asking you for 10 hours a week. And so I'm not trying to get your money. Like, I think it's a pretty good trade. I think it's a trade you should take. And this is kind of the challenge and kind of what we're talking about today. And so let's kind of talk about exactly what you need to start doing, how you could start closing deals virtually, and really just living the life of your dreams here. And so let's kind of talk about 5 steps on getting into this challenge and what to do with it so you can start closing some deals. Now, number 1, the first part about if you're looking to make $20,000 in the next 20 days is going to be finding your virtual wholesaling market. I don't think it's too crazy of me to say that. And that's a part I think a lot of people get really confused. I think it's a part a lot of wholesalers out here kind of overthinking the virtual wholesaling process. And it's actually a thing where I truly believe if you don't do it right, the whole thing doesn't work, right? And so if you decide if you're going to create a cake and you decide to replace eggs with mayonnaise, I don't care how good of a baker you are, that recipe's, it ain't going to work, all right?
Not for me.
It ain't going to work, right? If I can make them a PB&J sandwich and I give you that all-natural peanut butter, the one that tastes terrible with no preservatives, none of that just nasty stuff, you ain't going to like it.
Yeah.
I don't care how good the jelly is now. And so the thing in virtual wholesaling is if you have a terrible market, I don't care how much of a grinder you are. I don't care about your scripts. I don't care about your list. I don't care about any of that. I don't care how bad you want it. It ain't going to work. And we really have to have a conversation about finding a market. And I think even I overcomplicate it for people. And so what I want to do is kind of revision it today too on this part. But really, number 1 is finding the good virtual wholesaling market. That's a really important part here and something we need to talk about, because you need to find good markets. Without the right market, you're not going to be positioned well, and we kind of get positioned well here. Now, number 2 here, this is really important. We need to find our buyers. I truly believe when you are in this market where it's so foreign to us, right? No pun intended. But like if we're in a place where like we don't, like Zach, I live in South Africa. Like I don't understand the culture. I don't understand anything about the state of Kansas for wholesaling. I don't understand this, right? I know a map, but like you're just going to be so confused on, East Side Kansas City or West Side Kansas City or South City, North, like uptown. That stuff's going to be all foreign crazy to you. But the cool part about virtual wholesaling, and I'm not talking about international peeps only here, I'm talking about anyone new, is if I could find a really good qualified cash buyer, and they say, Zach, I'm looking to buy in this zip code and this zip code. Any Joe Schmo can go to Google Maps right now, look up a zip code, and it's a very small section of a city. You can kind of know it very well, right? 3 or 4 zips. You can grasp it, right? And it's not that insane to grasp. And from there, you're just going to look at properties where the buyer wants to buy. It's pretty easy. It's like being an Uber Eats or a Grubhub, DoorDash type guy. Like, you come to me and say, Zach, I want a Chipotle burrito. Okay, so you want a Chipotle burrito. Should I go to Taco Bell to get it?
Cheaper.
No, but should I go to Walmart? No, I should go to Chipotle to get Chipotle to get burrito, right? And here's the thing. I know it's a weird, stupid analogy, but I'm going to hear that. I'm going to go to 7-Eleven and be like, "Where's the Chipotle burrito?" Hey, here's a slice of pizza I got from a pizza restaurant. You'd be like, "No, I only want a burrito." And so it's crazy to say, but if you ask your buyer what they want to buy and you send them a deal that's not in that criteria, you shouldn't be upset if they don't want to buy it. It's simple, right? If I try to get you to eat a nice ripe tomato non-cooked, it just ain't gonna work. I think I just outed you. But you do not like raw tomato. You don't like eating those things, right?
A lot of raw tomatoes over here.
But that's the thing. You don't want to do things that you've said, I don't want to eat, right? I don't want to consume that. I don't want that. And I shouldn't be mad that you don't want that, right? And so the truth is, if we can just ask the buyers what they want and then go find what they want, they're going to buy what they want. Buyers buy things they like. For example, you absolutely love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I do. I don't eat about much anymore, though.
But there's some other things you really like. There's a lot of food, right, that you like, right? And if I give it to you, like if you gave me, and this is one of my favorite foods ever, it's just In-N-Out burger, or Whataburger actually right now. Whataburger is insane. If you gave me a Whataburger, I'm going to buy that thing every time. I can't say no to it. If you send it to me, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to eat it, right? And so if you find a buyer and they give you, like, I love all these houses, most buyers that are good at flipping are just going to buy.
Yeah.
They are not going to not buy your wholesaling deal if it's in their criteria. 3 2s in this zip, good. Like for me, in Port St. Lucie, kind of on the west end right there, 34953. Any 3-2 that is priced well at like a 14% cap rate, cash on cash, it's already done. Like it's not even a question if I want to buy it or not. And the roof is like it was put on at least 10 years ago. I'm buying the thing all day. Concrete block. Oh, that you don't have to ask me. Okay, the money will be spent on that thing. And the truth is, a lot of you wholesalers are just trying to go for any type of fish and just go specifically for the fish you want. So when me and Rick go fishing, we don't fish for any fish, right? We go after certain ones, right? Tuna, dolphin, mahi, right? We don't try to go catch sharks or something stupid. We try to catch this fish that tastes good. And I think you guys have to be going out there. You guys just do this big wide cast net and you have all this stupid stuff bothering you. You need to go specific on what you need. And just, I think a lot of people overcomplicate this. And so what you should be doing here is finding your buyers first. And if you go out here and find your buyers, you're going to find that you have an easier time selling your deal and your marketing gets a lot smaller. What I mean by this is you don't have to call 15, 20,000 lists. You can call a bunch of different lists on a very small amount of zip codes and your life gets easy. If you're a virtual wholesaler and you lock up deals and you struggle to sell them, you understand my pain. But on the flip side, if you ever have these deals and you sell them like hotcakes, you understand what I'm talking about. And so finding your buyers is number 2. Now, the next part on this process is, again, kind of the easier part. You pull the list. I think we've talked about lists very, very, very much at length on this channel and at freewholesaling.com. And then you find the channel you want to do it at. It's very simple. That is it. We find the list, usually the government lists. Drying for dollars gets a little more difficult, I ain't gonna lie, when you're virtually wholesaling, but there's other options you have. You can pull lists from any software, right? There's still an unlimited amount of leads for you to be pulling, really, in virtual wholesaling. You get the lists, you skip trace them, and you contact them. Now, I hate to tell you, I like getting in-person wholesalers options. I love to give somebody an option out here saying, Zach, you don't have to skip trace. You don't have to go out here and cold call or text. You can do other things. In virtual wholesaling, it's a lot smaller what we can do, but again, we can kind of be more laser focused. And really, for most wholesalers out here virtually, your options are limited. And it's not a bad thing that your options are limited, right? I don't think it's that bad. What do you got, right? You got cold calling, number one. You got texting.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a type of online list. This can be SEO, pay-per-click, Facebook ads, TV, radio. Not a fan of those, but it is an option. I've heard people pitch email blasts, right? Not a big fan of those. And then number three, you can JV, right? That's a good option that I talk about a lot. Or you can post digital bandit signs. You got virtual drawing for dollars in there too. I can lump that in there. It's really like at the core of it, 5 main options. I don't think direct mail is going to be a viable option for virtual wholesaling, so I'm going to kind of take that off. You really stick at 5. Like if there are any more, you let me know. But like a core 5 of what you can do. It's really not that complicated knowing what you need to do. And for most wholesalers, they need to fix their skills, talking to motivated sellers, gain that confidence, and cold calling is going to be the way for you to do that there. And so finding that list, finding that channel, it's going to be really important for you. And then number 4, this is a big one and one I cannot stress enough. And this is how I have shown more people than anyone to get their first virtual wholesaling deal and really racking the money, is creating that plan. And most importantly, sticking to that plan. And, I get a lot of people asking me, Zach, in Flipboard Plus, how do you have all these people doing so well? And the truth is, it's the same coaching I do on the free one-on-ones we have here. All I do is say, okay, tell me your market, whatever, right? We get in there, we see how much they got to work every single week. I get very specific one-on-ones with them, right? And I say, okay, do this, this, and this for 4 months. But reach out to me every single week. In Flipboard Plus, I do that every single week. Usually on the one-on-ones, maybe it's once a month, because I can only talk to them a lot less. And that's my conversation. A lot of people think that in Flipboard Plus, me and Rick give them like this detailed instruction, and I talk to them every hour. And it's, hey, you told me you're going to pull 1,000 lists and call them. How many lists do you pull? 800. Okay, we'll pull 1,000. Get back to me. What list? And then I tell them some more lists, and then you go from there. It's half the job is just babysitting. Did you do the plan or did you not? Like when I create the plan, I know there's a very high probability you're going to get deals from it. But the work is not in doing the plan, or the work is not even in the call. The work is just showing up and doing the plan,
and not altering it. So,
and
so many people try to pick things. So when you said earlier about if you're going to bake a cake and you have a recipe, I don't care how good of a baker. If you pull the eggs out, you pull the flour out, it's going to taste like crap. So a big part of it is when people get success, they think they know exactly what to do go forward. Exactly what you got to do is what me and Zach do, is just try to put you back on the path. So we always talk about get your sellers out of their own way. Well, we have to do that a lot for wholesalers. It's a big part of what we do with Flip with Rick. So when you go off and try to do this wild child idea, or this guy sells you on a program to do SEO and they're going to blow up your leads, I'm going to come back to you. How many deals have you done? What's the plan? You already found gold there. Keep digging until you hit deal 5. And so many of us get distracted. I got distracted. He's got distracted. As soon as you think you've made it, that's when actually we're the biggest asset to you, because we're going to tell you, stay on the path right here. Just keep going until you hit this target. When you hit this target, then we'll talk about options, because we are trying to save you from your own self, which sometimes is your own worst enemy, because you don't know what you don't know until you do it. It costs you time and money, and it derails you. So remember, guys, the biggest part is we don't have this magic formula for you. Our magic formula is consistency, and it's only created by doing the discipline of what a real wholesaler does, which honestly is just sticking to the fundamentals. It's not sexy. It's not glorious. The reason me and him are sitting here in the Netherlands is because I have grounded out 20 years. He's put in over 7 years. And I always tell you, I never got into wholesaling for the money. I assumed it would come at some point. but I got into it for freedom. I can't get freedom like this if I didn't stick to the fundamentals of wholesaling. And those of you that will make the sacrifice to stick to the fundamentals of wholesaling, you can go anywhere you want. You go see family, friends, you can tour the world, especially a lot of why you guys are young. I know a lot of young people are watching that. I didn't have this option when I was younger. I committed to corporate America and it was a nightmare. So the advent of virtual wholesaling, number one, you've just got to make a sacrifice. And once you make those sacrifices, first of all, you'll get freedom of your time, and then you'll fill your bank account up, and then you can fulfill yourself, because money's not going to make you happy alone. But having the freedom to spend time with loved ones, with people that aren't doing so well, where you can help them out financially, and more importantly, spend time. And God forbid, if you get some kids, you wind up getting married or whatever you do, spend quality time with them, because you have to grow with them every day. That's my addiction to wholesaling, and that's what we're talking about, virtual wholesaling. And this jet lag is real. It's taken me a while to figure out to like get up here, but like the sun's still bright. It's like 6 hour difference, kind of blows me away. But
oh yeah. So number 4 here, creating that plan. And I'm giving the secret to any wholesaling coach that wants to be the best in the world. It's the truth though. Like I have nothing to hide for you. Okay. What I have to hide for you is the work is in you creating that plan and executing that. Now you want to make sure the plan's good, but just showing up and not altering the plan, not doing anything stupid with your plan, just going out here and doing that. That's all I ask for you to do. And what do you think I'm doing today? I'm making a plan. And then 5, again, is just the action. 20 days is how we get deals. There's no ifs, ands, buts, what's, ifs, buts, no. Nuts, okay? You're nuts if you do that. There's no buts. You're nuts if you say buts. But really, your excuse will kill your success. Your reason of not getting in this is going to kill your success. And time again. And it makes me scream. And I can scream now. I'm all good now. Mm-hmm. You go out here and you tell yourself, I can't start because of this. I can't do this because of this. I can't this. It drives me. I can't do it, right?
It's a very limiting belief. And I'm just telling you, we all start out. I think we're conditioned from our childhood. It's so money. Well, like when you're really young as a child, your parents always tell you to do anything you want, anything you dream of. And somehow you hit grade school and high school, and like there's all this pressure to these colleges and do that. And then like it's like 18, 19, like, you know what, you're on your own. You got to figure it out. And so it's so important you take ownership now. The younger you are, the better. But like you can do whatever you make. I saw a list the other day I thought was amazing. They gave a list of the last 20 years companies that didn't exist. And on there you had Google, you had Netflix, you had Apple. I mean, the list was like, the biggest companies in the world in less than 20 years are dominating the markets. And they all started with a vision of what they wanted to do. And it didn't start with, I got to go to school and get perfect grades. It's people just had massive ambition. And stop with the limiting beliefs. They're only inside your head. In fact, one of the biggest things we don't flip with Rick is a lot of people's limiting beliefs. Well, I can't do it. I used to have it. I go, man, I couldn't make 10 grand in one shot if I wanted to. That's like the most I've ever made is like a $1,200 paycheck. What did I do? I eventually set it. I targeted, I put it on the wall, and I didn't hit it on the first shot, but the second, the third, the fourth, I made it happen.
Yeah, and that's what it takes. And so let's kind of get in the challenge. Let's kind of talk about making the money and doing it and really getting going. So let's kind of talk about the next 20 days, what we're going to be doing, how we're going to get deals, how you're going to start getting deals, right? We're going to talk about this week of specifically how to find your market and how to find these really, really good buyers. This is what week 1's all about. Finding your market and finding the buyers. Because if we can find the really good, high quality buyers and we have the really good market, it's game over. Because once we just got to figure out that marketing puzzle, we're good. We're here to make 20 grand. It's a wrap. If you don't want to do this, you're stuck. You're not good. That's not what we're here for, right? Now week 2, we're going to be talking about, and you can do everything in week 1, but let's just talk about what we're talking about. Week 2 of this challenge, we are going to show you exactly virtually how to be pulling lists and how to do the marketing, right? The calling, the texting, all these things, right? Of how you can start doing phone calls virtually wholesaling, right? And even I have an example right here. Like if I lived in this country, then yeah, I can get a SIM card and go crazy, but I can't call people in the United States, or if I'm in with my phone, I can't call people back in the US. It's crazy, right? And so there's some other options I'll tell everyone about how to do that. And we're going to do a little bit of that live too here, because It's the challenge. Why not?
Yep.
And we're going to go find sellers and do everything like that. And then for week 3, we're kind of going to get doing the action, the game plans, but really closing the deals, making the money, and really getting rich in the wholesaling real estate process. And so let's kind of keep the difference right now in the wholesaling part. And so for this week specifically, let's talk about how to find your market. How do you get the market? How do you find what works? Now, I've always defined a good virtual wholesaling market as a market which has over 100,000 people into it, specifically for the city or the county. I like the city better than the county, obviously. I'm leaning towards now, especially with the way wholesaling has been going, the city having 100,000 people. And I want the median home price for the city to be under 400,000. Used to be $500,000. I'm trying to get tighter with this. I've just found more and more success at the 100K for the city and really 400K or below on the median home price. It's really not that complicated when you really go look at the numbers here. And that's kind of what I want to show you here. And so what I like doing is just using AI. AI is probably my biggest friend here when it comes to kind of just figuring things out. They take a lot of brain power, and I'm a stupid guy. So I don't want to be using all my brain power at once here. And so let's kind of go here into AI and show you exactly how to start using this to help you out, especially starting out in wholesaling real estate. Now, the reason why I like using Gemini AI, let me get the link for everyone on here. Let me show you this really quick. The reason why we love Gemini AI is it's powered from Google, which is pretty cool. Let's go find it out here. This is right here, Gemini AI, and it is powered by Google. That's why I think it's pretty cool here. And with Gemini AI, what you can basically do is have it do all your work. And so let's basically write a prompt here. Can you name every single metro market, every single city in the United States with a population of over 100,000 people, and also according to Zillow, a median home price below $400,000. And let's kind of pop up exactly what it's going to say here. I've not played around with this, so it can't do Zillow directly, which kind of sucks. So we're just going to do this one more time. All right, if it doesn't let me do that, then I can just manually pull the data, which I really don't want to do. So it's going to be doing city population. All right, we're just going to use ChatGPT for this. Population over 100,000 people. Let's see if it'll do it. Oh, where is it? Yeah, they're getting worse with this stupid thing. All right, let's go back to, let's do the other one here. If we use ChatGPT, it'll be a little easier here. Let's see here. I don't think this one's connected to the internet, though. Let's see if it is. But really, basically, what we're trying to do is find the median of it. If it doesn't, we'll just manually do it, and I'll show you how to manually do it. But AI usually can do it. Now, they're getting a little weirder with it. Let's see. Okay. There you go. So explain the reason why we need over 100,000 people in the city.
Oh, well, that's simple. Statistically, if you have at least 100,000 people, it means you're going to have a good representation of inventory available, which is challenging in today's market. And it also is a place where most cash buyers want to go, because when there's a growing population, that means there's a growing base for housing demand. And that's where you're going to attract most of your buyers. When you guys come to us and you want a JV on a market and they're like, there's less than 20, 25,000 people, the amount of time it takes to move that deal is problematic for wholesaling. So Most wholesaling deals you want to move in pretty much 30 days, maybe 45 is kind of the maximum. But when you get into those smaller not even metro markets, those small markets, it's a crapshoot if you're going to even be able to sell it. And a lot of times it's not even price. People just don't want to take the risk because they don't feel the demand's there. And so unless you find a local, which in a population 20, 25,000, trying to find a local cash buyer that will pay for a wholesale deal, they exist, but there's just not a lot of them. They can only buy so many properties. And for that reason, it doesn't mean it can't work. But guys, the smaller the population, the less the cash buyers, the less the demand. And you want to look where populations where people are growing and actually going to, because it's helpful. Now, sometimes markets somewhat collapse and they come back. Ohio's seen a lot of this, parts of Michigan, where they used to have, big corporations like big car companies. But if you start going back to these states, they're now the new affordable living. And time will tell if people want to stay there for the long run. But you all know what happened with Florida, what happened with Texas. And that's a big inflow. And then most of California is an outflow. And maybe one day California's prices will drop and that'll be cyclical, but I doubt it. So it's so important. And one of the biggest things we notice whenever we JV deal and we tell you we can't do it, or it's not even 50-50, it's because you have such a small population. So small population is indicative of data that tells you it's probably not going to go well. So it doesn't mean we don't like you or we don't like the actual physical property. We just don't like it as a wholesale deal. And for that reason, you've got to filter that like number one. And we talked earlier about doing the average median price, which you want to be at or well below. So start with the U.S. average price, which I think's.
So let's go over this. This is pretty cool here. This is from my favorite people in the world, the National Association of Realtors. But they compile a lot of good data here. And this is the data just for you to understand here of basically the average selling price, the median sales price of existing homes in metro areas. So let me give you guys all a link to this. These are every single pretty much metro area in the United States of America. Now when realtors don't spend their money on Botox and BMWs, they spend it on NAR. And so this is how NAR gets the data. People use their Botox money for a month. So this is it. So this is pretty much every metro market you can think of. And so if we just scroll right here, like for example, I love Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio is growing, but these aren't seasonally adjusted. So you can go all the way to the right here. But like for example, Columbus is at 306, 309, Fort Walton, right? And you can kind of just look here. And like, for example, this Denver area, that price is too high. 651, not good. And all these metro markets right here, I'm pretty sure if it's considered a metro, it should be high enough for the city. Now, obviously, do your own look. But like, for example, even Jacksonville, North Carolina, nobody in wholesaling, before I said anything on the internet, really talked about Jacksonville, North Carolina. But let me tell you something, guys and gals, and I'm going to get in trouble saying this. Jacksonville, North Carolina is an amazing wholesaling market. It is a metro market that has a lot of buyers, a good population, and you get a lot of wholesaling deals done. But nobody talks about it. It's not a buzz market. Guess what? It's on this list. And so what I'm going to tell you to do is think of areas, Hagerstown, I shouldn't talk about this, but you do very well there, right? There's a lot of areas here where nobody talks about it, like Palm Bay right here. Nobody talks about Palm Bay. Great wholesaling market.
Great market.
I recommend a lot of people do virtual, but it's on here. You probably never heard of the name Palm Bay or Titusville in your life, right?
Yeah.
That's where they do a lot of SpaceX launches, right? We can keep going here. Ocala is amazing. Oklahoma City. Now, like for example, San Luis Paso Robles. I've never heard of that thing in my life.
No.
But 903, 909,000. I ain't virtually wholesaling there. You kidding me? Sebastian Vero Beach. Huh. Probably never heard the word Sebastian, Florida in your life.
I have.
I made a lot of money in Sebastian, right? That's right by us too, right? Yep. Shreveport, Sioux Falls, Spartanburg, St. George, Utah. Like there's a lot of these areas here. And so your next virtual wholesaling deal where you're going to do well is on this list. I guarantee it. I don't think this list is missing out any good market, in my opinion, because all these are pretty much all the metro markets in the United States of America. So I would go here, and I would look for one. Now, for example, there's some markets I'm like Binghamton, New York, probably no. But like another good one I see here, and something I really, really I think it's going to be very, very good, is this Athens, Clark County area. Amazing. You get a lot of deals in that area. I'm not hot on Albuquerque. Let me just actually, let me do this for you guys. Let's make it a little easier for this challenge. Okay, let me go down this list really quick and do this. Okay, Abilene, Texas, yes. Akron, yes. Albany, yes. Albuquerque, no. Let me just go through the no's. Okay, let's go through this really quick, and let me go through the no's for you, all right? Allentown, yes. Armilio, yes. Anaheim, no. No. You can do it. Oxford, yes. Appleton, no. Asheville, yes. Athens, yes. Atlanta, yes. No. 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 Yes. Yes. No. 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 Yes. Don't have data in Burlington. No. 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 Yes. If you do the area around it.
That's a long list, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just going through this really quick. Charleston, no. Charlotte, Gastonia, yes. Yes. No. No in Chicago. No in Chico. Yes on Cincy. Cleveland, Tennessee, never done any research around Cleveland. So I'm going to say no, no, no. Yes on Columbia. Yes on Columbia, South Carolina. Columbus, yes. Corpus, yes. Yes. No. No. Yes. Amazing market right there. Dayton, yes. Decanter, yes. Decanter, Illinois, no. Deltona, no. 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 Yes, Detroit, no. Dover. Duluth, Minnesota, I'm going to say no on that one. No in Chapel Hill. No, no, no. If you live in El Paso, still a no. Erie, yes. Eugene, no. Fargo, no. No. Fayetteville, yes. Fayetteville, Arkansas, yes. No, no, no. Amazing. Fort Wayne, Indiana, yes. Fresno, yes. Gainesville, yes. Gainesville, Georgia, even more of a yes. Gary, Scary Gary, no. Glen Falls, no. Grand Rapids, yes. Yes. No, wait. Greenlee, no. Green Bay, no. Greensboro, High Point, maybe. Greenville, yes. 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 Outskirts, yes. No. No. Yes. 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 Big yes. Even bigger yes. No, no. Amazing, yes. No, yes. No. Insane, yes. Probably best in Tennessee is Knoxville. Lakeland, no. Lancaster, no. 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 Lexington, Fayette, I'm going to say no. Lincoln, no. Little Rock, Arkansas, yes. Massive, massive yes. Logan, no. Longview, got some wholesalers there, but I'm going to say no. No. Louis, yes. Lubbock. I'm going to say no to Lubbock. Yes to Macon. No. Massive yes in Manchester, New Hampshire. Memphis, if you live there. No. Yes on Milwaukee. No Minneapolis. Mobile, yes. Montgomery, yes. Myrtle Beach, yes. Naples, no. Nashville, yes, if it's Murfreesboro. No. Yes. No. 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 Yes. 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 No. 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 Yes. Panama City. Yes. Pensacola, very yes. Peoria, yes. Philly, outskirts, yes. Phoenix, no. Pittsburgh, no. Pittsfield, no. Port St. Lucie, how do they out us? Yes.
It's on the list.
Yes. And I'll tell you something about Port St. Lucie, okay? Port St. Lucie's at 425. It gets a pass. Good enough. Okay. Portland, no, no, yes. For Providence, Rhode Island, no, sounds weird, but yes, no, no. Racine, yes. Raleigh, yes. Reading, insane, yes. Reno, no. Richmond, insane, yes. Riverside, no. Roanoke, no, no, no. There's deals in Rockford, but probably no right now. Sacramento, no. Saginaw, yes. St. Louis, no. Unless you live there. Salem, no. Salt Lake City, no. San Antonio, if you live there, yes. Anything else? No. No, no, no. No. Yes for Sebastian. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. So that is every single metro market in the United States of America. So I don't want to hear you say that and include one. If I said yes, do it. If it said no, if you need any questions, you just pick any of those. I don't know what else to tell you there. It's every metro market in the United States of America. Seems pretty simple. Go by my word. If not, go from there. Don't know what to tell you. And so go from there. I just listed every single metro market. Seems crazy, but name me another metro market we just missed out there. It's all in there. And I gave the ones that work and the ones that don't work. There's a lot of secret markets in there that I didn't want to reveal, but they're all in there.
Interesting to define what a metro is.
A metro is a high enough population to define as a metro, right? The census really does all that for you. And so you know what to do. It's pretty easy. Simple. That's how we get deals. That's how we make money. And that's how we choose. So choose any of the markets that said yes on, and you're good to go. Now, if you're like, oh, which one? Close your eyes and pick it.
Yeah, and if you have any history or you grew up in one of those markets or you have family or you have friends there, it kind of makes it obvious for you if you decide to do that because it expedites some of your local knowledge. And even if you haven't been back there in 10 or say even 15 years, 20 years, it doesn't take long. Like you understand the real estate, you just got to figure out the pricing that goes with it, but you know which streets are, stay away from which ones are up and coming. So if you have any familiarity with it, it kind of makes it a no-brainer decision. What we don't want you to do is go on a whim and let some keyboard warrior on some website or some Facebook group go, I heard that Los Angeles, California is the greatest wholesaling market ever. Or vice versa, I heard it's the worst wholesaling market. You got to go get your data. And you want to get data directly from the source like Zach's showing you here. And you want to verify that data. And you can go to multiple sites, either through the county or the state, and verify the numbers because data can't lie to you and data is going to tell you the truth. If you're going to pick a city, pick one that's actually going to make you money. Remember, you use wholesaling as your freedom tool to go visit the cities that you want to go to, but you got to pick the data in wholesaling to pick the cities you want to do it virtually. You've got to understand this, the distinct difference. You're not living in those. You're not even investing in them. You're basically selling the paper to it. So you got to have a market where there's demand from your cash buyers and there's enough inventory at a reasonable enough price to where you can go out and attack it.
Exactly. And so that's why I say go after it, right? Now, the only one in there that is going to be a little fishy and weird right now is going to be Illinois and South Carolina. Illinois, it's just weird. South Carolina, and so they have this new law. And so it is legal in South Carolina wholesale real estate as of my reading of this. Now, I will say I'm not a lawyer. Rick Ginn is not a lawyer. Governor signed that law. Now, how is this going to play out? We don't know. Honestly, your biggest issue is not going to be the legality, in my opinion. I think it's completely legal to assign contracts, and it's pretty black and white with the law. Now, here's the thing that is the issue. Are attorneys going to even want to touch assignments in South Carolina? That's your issue, right? Now, as people that wholesale in South Carolina, we are actively looking at ways around if our attorneys aren't good for it. We're still talking around. It's like a title company, in our opinion. Basically, you just got to find the attorney that's willing to do it. I've been in contact with about 5 wholesalers that their attorneys say, yeah, you are right, Zach. Shocker. And we are going to close with you. And I got sent 2 HUDs already. Actually, I got to show you the HUDs of people that closed it yesterday, deals, and the attorneys are all clean and fine with it. They don't care. Now, that being said, there are lawyers that are going to be completely okay with you. Now, I'm going to be asked this question, Zach, does that mean it's illegal? No. If you have an attorney, attorney state, you're good to go. We're getting gurus saying it's completely illegal to do it. From our reading of the law, again, I'm not a lawyer. I want to make this very clear. Rick Ginn is not a lawyer. But it's a weird thing because in Florida, I get people telling me it's illegal to go close a probate deal without the probate process being done. And I have legitimate lawyers telling me this. And somehow we still get the deals closed. We get wholesalers telling me assignments. I get wholesalers and lawyers telling me assignments are illegal in Florida. And
we get that all the time. I've been doing it 21 years. Guys, the reality is if you ask 10 lawyers their opinion, you're going to get a 50-50 split almost down the middle. So lawyers prove, listen, I'm not going to pick on lawyers, but I'm just telling you, it's an interpretation. To me, South Carolina did us a favor by those wonderful politicians that saved at the end. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Zach's last post. And they tried to railroad it, and they really tried to make wholesaling illegal. At the end, they adopted it and basically clearly defined that the assignment of contract is 100% legal, and they can't shut it down. So how that came about and stuff, I think the whole thing's comical because we'll
talk about this later for the challenge.
But guys, you just got to find someone that's going to close your deal. I'm in the state of Florida. I still have title companies tell me we don't want to do wholesale deals. We don't want to do the assignment of contract. And remember, that's just their policy. That's not the law. You just got to go find people that want to do business with you. You're going to have this almost in any state you work with. As we navigate through this and whenever they pass any type of new legislation, people are on their tippy toes until they get comfortable. And part of it is getting underwriting clarification, but to me, it's all spelled out.
Yeah, so talk to your attorney in South Carolina.
Don't talk to a guru.
Or just find an attorney that's okay with you closing. We're just going to navigate the process. We're still going to be doing deals in South Carolina. To make wholesaling illegal, or you theoretically could, to make the process of making quick money in real estate the way that we talk about, maybe it's not wholesaling, maybe it's double closing, maybe it's something else. To make that illegal, you will have to make the United States illegal. And what I mean by this is there's ways people are trying to ban double closings. They're trying to ban assignments. I see all this stupid stuff. Number one, that wouldn't pass any court. So I want to see one wholesaler get caught. And I'd love that to go to a judge and see how that goes, right? I know for a fact what's going to happen. And I would be the first guy to support you if South Carolina says, you can't wholesale. I would love for them to go after me and say, you can't wholesale, right? Of course, there's no criminal intent. But the way I read the law, it's how me and Rick interpret it, right? And my lawyers interpret it. And guess what? I can bring that thing all the way to Supreme Court with the constitutional lawyers, which is a 6-3 majority, and we'll duke it out from there. I got the money to go there, right? So it's fine. Now, honestly, it's not going to be your problem, though. And so just find an attorney that's okay with you closing in South Carolina. You should be fine. But really, there's some workarounds me and Rick are working on right now. We don't want to publicly talk about it, but we got some really good ideas for this. How even if you're a kid with no money at all, you can still wholesale. I'm not trying to pitch anything on this. We'll get going on there. But we're masterminding. What I really want to do, and this is something I am working on, I don't know if I have illegal trouble with this. We're working on compiling next month a list of wholesaling-friendly real estate attorneys in South Carolina. We just want to publicly get that out for 2 reasons. Number one, so you guys just have the information and so you're good. Mm-hmm. And number 2 is to flex on a broke wholesaling guru. But specifically number 2, not for number 1. And so we just want to get a list of real estate wholesaling friendly attorneys. So get that. So if you wanted to actually DM me, go do that. If you have a real estate attorney that's okay with us knowing that, I'd love to go present them and get a list of a new wholesaling set. Like I probably get 100. Here's 100 real estate attorneys in South Carolina that are okay with wholesaling. They actually know the law. Yeah, you're good to go. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. The law is fine, and so we're good to go. And so that's just my South Carolina people in here. But yeah, we got some of you guys saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get 20 deal. I'm gonna get my first deal 20 days. I'd love to see it. Love to see it." And there's also some ways around South Carolina that we've been researching, but we're going to be very, very, very specific with this. And so we'll have more to come here. But that's how you find your market. Now, specifically, how do you find cash buyers? Come on. So let's use Mr. Analogy over here. Let's go again. How do you think I'm going to find guys that like Nutter Butters? All right. Why am I talking about Nutter Butters to you?
I like them.
You like them?
I do.
So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to a grocery store and I'm going to sit right by the bag of Nutter Butters. And now what I'm going to do is find Rick Ginn, who's going to walk in and buy 6 of them with a bunch of milk, right? Not 6, but you buy a thing of them with some almond milk,
Yep.
right? Come on. We know, right? You know me. I'm going to go straight for the Takis and the Arizona iced tea. But like, let's look at this. If I want to go find guys that like Nutter Butters, I'm going to go to the grocery store and go by the Nutter Butter section, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a weird thing to do? If I want to find guys that like, let's say I want to find vegans, guess what we do? I'm going to go to the vegan restaurant and there's going to be vegans there probably, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to go to Burger King and look for the next vegan, right? It's simple. And so a lot of people overcomplicate this process. The best analogy I have about this, and I'm going to give my last analogy because people hate them. If I want to find Miami Dolphins fans, do you think I'm going to go to Buffalo, New York at a sports bar and try to find them? Or am I going to go to a sports bar in Miami on a Sunday and try to find them, right? It's simple. And so cash buyers hang out where cash buyers usually are. It's weird. They quack like a duck, they're ducks. So I ain't going to find a duck in the desert, I'm going to find a duck in the lake. And so what we got to do is find a lake. And so buyers are really easy to find if you are looking the right way. So if I'm in the desert, it's really hard for me to find a duck. But if I'm in a lake, it gets a lot easier to do. And so I think a lot of people try to find buyers in the wrong places. And this is where they struggle. And this is where my expertise in finding buyers really comes into play. And that's why I do very well in what I do. Now, let's talk about finding cash buyers. Now, to find cash buyers, there are really 2 separate ways I like doing it, right? There is the guaranteed way, and then there is the kind of grinding way of finding buyers. And the only separation is the guaranteed way is going to cost you money, and then the grind way is going to cost no money. It's how it works, time, right? Time. And so when I can put in some money and just get a lot of guaranteed easy buyers, or I can spend no money and get some guaranteed buyers, but it's a lot of work, right? That's how this business is, right? Like you got to spend a little money to make it easier, but if you've got no money, it's okay. You just got to put more time and put a lot more effort into this business. And so let's kind of talk about the first part, right? I got no money. I want to get rich. I want to find buyers. We're going to have to grind. Number 1, Facebook groups. I love Facebook groups. We teach this a lot at freewholesaling.com. You might not know this. I have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com. I could sell it for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, but I give it out for free. Isn't that crazy? It's called freewholesaling.com. And at freewholesaling.com, I teach this method. I actually screen share, show it. I would love to do it here, but privacy policies don't let me do it. But what I can do is go to a Facebook group. I can go to like the Indiana Real Estate Investors group. What I'm going to do is search at gmail.com. I'm going to search drop email. I'm going to search stupid terms like that, which I teach in the course. And what I'm going to do is find people commenting on posts saying, I'm a buyer, here's my email. I'm a buyer, or just a guy saying, I'm a cash buyer. I can go DM them and go get their information, qualify and go from there. Facebook groups specifically are an amazing way. People make posts every single day. Now, there's an issue with this, obviously. There's a massive issue with this method. Number 1, everybody claims to be a buyer. Everyone claims to be a baller, right? And they're not ballers. And so that's the main issue here, right? I can go into Zillow for rent section. I can find people listing rental properties. The issue is we do have some people on here that pretend to be the owners of the property, right? I get that sometimes. But what's another way, right? We can go out here and do Craigslist posts, Facebook posts, right? It's more of a grind, but it's something. Now, here's the issue with this specific method. You're going to have a lot of people. So what I'm going to say, if you look on Facebook, let's talk about that method. You can get 100 people claiming to be a cash buyer. And what you're going to find is 90 of them are going to be saying keywords like, hey, brother, hey, bro, what's up, man? And those 90 people are fake buyers. And so if I get a list of 100 people claiming to be cash buyers, 90 of them are just not good. You should not use those at all. Never a good buyer to use. You know why? Because they're at some program trying to JV your deal. They're trying to steal your deal. They're pretenders, not contenders. And the only way that I have personally found to separate the good buyers from the fake and bad buyers is this one thing called proof. That is it. Not proof of funds anymore. Like I think the proof of funds it worked at its time, but we're at a point now where your guru can provide proof of funds. Proof of funds can get squirrely. You can edit your bank account information, right? You can do a lot. Just a proof of funds letter ain't gonna cut it anymore. Because I've seen 14-year-olds with proof of funds letters for $17 million. Right? Like
you can get them on the internet. Anyway.
I see them everywhere. And so proof of funds is kind of going away right now. And what's really the best thing is things that you can't fake. And what can't you fake? You can't fake property you own. And if you faked property you own, then you go to prison. That's pretty much how it goes, right? It's legitimate fraud, and you can't really do that. And so I know a lot of 14-year-olds who claim to be millionaires, but I don't. Usually if you ask them for a picture of their bank account, they ain't gonna show you, or they can't prove it. And so what I'm gonna do here is whenever someone claims to be a buyer, I'm just gonna ask them this one question. And this really separates the winners and the losers. Hey, bro, because they call me bro, because we're brothers. Naming 2 properties you own. Give me addresses, because I'll call them up and say, oh man, I own 15 rentals. I'm looking for more rental properties. I flipped it, or they'll say this, Zach, I flipped 15 houses last month. Huh? 15? Can you give me 2 addresses out of that 15? Whoa, they're gonna be like, whoa, man, whoa. You're getting very personal here. Why do you want to know 2 houses that I flipped? What? Am I going to know a secret market? Well, not really.
Yeah. If you got 15,
just give me 2. Just give me 2. I just want to make sure you sign the deed yourself. Well, it's complicated, brother.
It's complicated.
It's complicated, brother.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. It's not complicated. You own the house, or you didn't own the house. And here's the thing. Maybe I don't own the house anymore, so I can't get the address. There's a paper trail.
Yeah.
There's a paper trail.
Simple.
Like houses that Rick flipped 10 years ago, there's a paper trail.
Yeah.
Right? You can look, it's a paper trail. Houses that I've owned and flipped, they're all paper trails. Unless you did an actual assignment, which why is your cash buyer doing an assignment? There's still HUDs on that, right? It's not there. And guess what? Let's go even crazier here. All right. Let's say, for example, you're actually a legit cash buyer. Okay? And you say you're too good to give me 2 addresses, but you still want to buy my property. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here, just to wipe my hands clean. Okay? Because but what if? Can I have the phone number to your title company? And let me just call them and confirm that you've closed on 2 houses in the past year.
Yeah.
Oh man, come on. You can't give me just Andy can't give me a title. You gotta give me 1, right? After that, like what are we doing? Like what are we doing if you can't do that? Right?
Yeah, I mean, believe them when they tell you they can't, because if they can't do that, they can't buy your property, and they're going to waste your time. They're going to play games with you. And these are the people that me and Zach teach you to avoid. So when you get down to it in wholesaling, we always teach you when you're dealing with your sellers, you got to get to the truth sooner than later. With your cash buyers, you got to get to the truth immediately. There is no room for play. And so we used to always do proof of funds, but the proof of funds is getting so doctored up and BS. It's gotten to the point, like, just show me. Like, if you look up any one of my companies that have bought companies, especially my local markets, it's pages and pages to the point that, like, okay, it's 10 pages. I get it.
Let's talk about this. People I get this all the time. They try to look up our properties that we own. And they're like, I couldn't find you, Zach. You don't own any real estate. Oh, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've been discovered. Guess what? You can hide real estate you own. I'll be completely honest with you. You can't. There's trusts. There's very certain things you can do to hide real estate. And I'm not getting into the details of it. I think you can understand why you don't want the government, or you don't want the public, or just any Joe Schmo to know how much property you own. Easily, right? There's ways around that. Now, here's the thing though. If I gave you the address, you can find who signed for the deed. And you can do a paper trail from there.
Yeah.
Now, the ways people hide it, I'm going to talk about how me and Rick do it. But let's talk about certain ways. Let's talk about this one, okay? There's an option that we don't do, but I've seen this where people, they have the attorney sign the deed for them for a company. And you give that attorney rights to sign contracts for you.
Yeah.
That's fine. Show me your document showing you're the owner of that property, then the attorney signed for the deed.
Yeah.
Oh, I can show it all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, HUD, anything.
But I'm not going to give you a copy because I don't want people knowing. But what I can do is give you like in person just to show you really quick, right? Or you guess what? You can call the attorney and say, hey, does Zach actually buy real estate? I saw you sign some for him. Attorney. And if I give the attorney permission, they can tell you, right? And so there are people like me and Rick that will buy a bunch of property and keep it hidden from the public view because we know how easy it is to find things. But if we gave you the address and we let you talk to our attorney ain't gonna lie to you like that.
Yeah.
Or you can actually just call the title company, confirm it got closed, confirm the attorney is on the property. You're good to go because you can have individual trust. It gets really weird. But I can show documents and stuff like that.
And the bottom line is, if your cash buyer is really a cash buyer and they're active in buying properties in your market, they want to show you this stuff. So I don't care how they protect their assets. It's advisable, and people that have money, they do protect their assets. But they can show you the map of how they got there. And showing one person that you're trying to do business with is really a sign of good faith. But like if you hit this road obstacle right again, they're just telling you they're not a cash buyer.
Like if you say, oh, but Zach, I don't trust your documents. Okay, here's the last 14 months since I bought this property under the trust that you can't find of the basically the rental income coming into the company.
So they don't record trusts. So.
Right? Boom.
Yeah.
Actually, don't talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's ways around how I can hide things. But what I could say is there should be overwhelming proof from the buyer. And so the rule now is, and I had to change, there's just so many fake ones. If you have not bought at least 2 houses in the past 2 years, don't sell your deal to this person.
They're probably not a cash buyer.
But like that's bare minimum, okay? Yeah. If they have not done that, you don't want to be the guy's first assignment to buy either.
It'll be the last one he buys too.
So what I could tell you is if they don't own 2 houses, skip them. I don't want you to even deal with them. That's it. And so for rents are good. I really like Facebook groups. Now, if you have some money, I mean, heck, you can talk to title companies, right? You can make your posts, you can do things like that. On top of this too, you can also go out here on PropStream or any type of software and just honestly just make your life a lot easier. And so let's go into PropStream here. You can also use dmzack.com, any of these softwares. But let me show this here and show you how I can virtually find buyers really quick. So let's go here. Let me share my screen. Oh, can't show that address. Let's do Mobile, Alabama. All right. There we go. Okay. Can show some addresses I popped up on PropStream lately. But, all right, Mobile County, right? And so what I'm going to do here is if I want to find a buyer real quick, there's really an easy way to figure out the pretenders from the real ones, all right? So let's go here. Filter. Let's go to cash buyers. You know how easy this is on a software? Let me show you this really quick, okay? Why is that on there? All right. All I'm going to do is go to, if I just use PropStream real quick. Let's go here. All right. So all I'm going to do is go to basically ownership information. I'm going to put number of properties owned to minimum 2. Boom. So Mobile, there's 33,000 people that own at least 2 houses and they bought one of them for cash. Simple, easy. Like that just shows you the power of PropStream in there too. Like it's really easy. I hate to tell you. Now, if you want to get even crazier on here, let's do another market. Let's see here. Let's go. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's go do Deal Machine. All right, so for example, this is dmzac.com. And all I have to do here is, let's just do City of St. Louis. I'm going to go out here to property, single family. Price, actually, you don't want to max that out if you're doing for buyers specifically. What I want to do is just go to owner type. Actually, not type, ownership information. So let's go, oops, all right, good. So we don't really care too much on the owner type. Let's see. There we go. We're going to do number of properties owned, building style. Popped it up this morning. Hold on. Where is not the mortgage. It's going to be on the top. There we go. It'll be under contact. All right. So all I'm going to go here is number of properties owned is greater than or equal to 2. Boom. All right. Next filter we're going to add on here. And, oh. All right. Beautiful. All right, and we're going to make sure that the property is single family. Already did that. And sales history. We don't really care too much about the sales history here. So if we can also add the cash buyer on here. So let's see if that mixed it in there. All right, so for St. Louis, if they bought a property and they have at least, let me get rid of this part. All right, we have 53,000, which does seem like a lot. Ain't gonna lie. So the other filter I like adding on here too. Let's get here. And I want to make sure that under sales history, last sale date, so is after, and they at least bought a property in the past year. So let's do this one. At least when the sales date was over this. And that's going to bring it down to 4,000, which honestly is kind of small for a city like that. And those are the buyers I want to be talking to. Now, you can get even crazier. We can even we can bring the equity up, down. One thing I like doing here is just making sure that, where is it on here? Contact information. Let's see. Number of properties owned is less than, I don't want anyone owning more than 20 properties. That gets a little crazy. So we'll get rid of those crazy ones. And then we should be able on here be at 2,000. So that's not bad at all. So you got rid of the crazy, like fat corporate ones. You don't want guys owning 70 houses for a traditional cash buyer. And then from there, all I have to do is just click their information. And now I don't want to do it for the privacy policy, but basically with dmzac.com, with dmzac.com, I can just pull the list and it's skip traced unlimited for free. So dmzac.com, it works. I absolutely love it there. So you can use software really quickly to make it work well. It's not that hard. But again, the process of qualifying, once they say, hey, Zach, I'm looking to buy more property. So something I would do there is like, hey, I just saw you bought 123 Main Street last year for cash. I'm actually a wholesale in the area. And I was seeing if you were looking to buy any more properties for cash. Simple. Yes, you go through the vetting process at freeholesting.com. You're pretty much good to go. Now, here's the thing, why should you go out here and try to find cash buyers first? I think that's one of the biggest questions we get. Zach, why should I try to find cash buyers first? Honestly, you don't know the area and you need to do it. I think a lot of people are scared to find buyers. And I think the simplification that we're trying to explain here should make it easy for anyone to go out here and find cash buyers, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
simple.
They're your customers. So you've got to reach out to them. You got to find out where they're buying, the price points, because if you don't know what your customer wants, it's hard to go get contracts and deliver to them.
That's it. And so this is the challenge. So we know what market to go after. We know how to find the buyers, but what are our goals? What should we at the end of this be doing? Simple as this, right? In the next 30 minutes and 2 hours, the next 2.5 hours, okay? This is, I ain't playing around, okay? I don't play around with challenges, all right? It's a challenge for you. What I'm going to say is in the next 30 minutes, not 15, not 45, you need to stare at that sheet that I did on this video, replay it, watch it again, watch it 5 million times. And what I need you to do is you just need to find one market out of that I said was good. I literally listed every metro market, and you get to decide out of those which one you want to do. You have 30 minutes to decide. If not, close your eyes and pick one. Put in a spinner wheel, ask AI out of these cities which one.
Yep.
But I want you to write down every single city I said that's good. Then just choose one. I promise you, if you choose one of those, you're not going to go like it. You'll be fine. You'll be chilled. You'll be chilled out. Okay. Choose it and you'll be good.
Yeah.
And then from there, for 2 hours, I think you should be able to find at least 2 qualified cash buyers. Spend 2 hours, you should be able to do that. Choose what we have to do at freewholesaling.com and you should be good to go. And so this comes down to week 1 of the challenge. So what's kind of the goal? What am I screaming at you for here? What is the process? What is the goal? What are we doing? What are we trying to do here? What I'm going to say is all you have to do is just go to freewholesaling.com. There's our free real estate wholesaling course. We're going to teach you how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. That's it. Go to freewholesaling.com. You can learn how to wholesale real estate for free, kind of things we're talking about. And you should be well on your way to getting the next $20,000 on your next first wholesaling real estate deal. The problem is most people, we don't see them hit that point because they're not willing to put the 30 minutes in. They're not willing to put the 2 hours of just focused work that we say. They want to say, I like this method better. Or, I know Rick says to do this, but this buyer says he's doing hard money. I'm just going to go with him. And then you lose a $40,000 deal. Guys, it's a cash buyer. They have to buy the house cash. And hard money, usually they don't own the property. And so what I can tell you is find the right buyer. You'll be good to go. And so that's week 1 of the challenge here. This is how you do it. This is how you become successful and get wholesaling real estate deals done. But guys,
you got to put
go
in
to
the work.
freewholesaling.com.
You got to put in the work.
I agree. That's what it literally all takes. And so make sure you go to freewholesaling.com and you'll learn exactly how to do it right there. So freewholesaling.com and you'll be good. Now, on top of that too, I want to give everyone a shout out. We had a lot of people sign up for FlipAlert Plus. So do want to let everybody know too that if you do want to join FlipAlert Plus, you can do it for 7 days. I don't think we talked about that. We talked about it last week, right?
Yeah.
But if you do want to join FlipAlert Plus, we are allowing anybody for the next 7 days. We did a little 30-day wholesaling challenge last week. If you want to join, the challenge too, we're allowing anyone to join FlipAlert Plus for 7 days, and then you get 30 days money back if you want a refund from it too. To join it, I just think it's important for you guys to be wholesaling together as a community. And so we went for 3.5 hours yesterday, and then we're gonna do even more. But just definitely, if you're looking to kind of boost your game here in wholesaling and you want to join for free, send me a wholesaling deal or get the free trial to FlipAlert Plus and try it out. But honestly, guys, you need to go to freewholesaling.com first, and you'll do good. And so let's answer some questions really quick and see what can help you become the best wholesaler possible. So let's go here and get it going, guys. Also, we are excited. We're still planning out the event. So if you do want to hop on and join our next event we got, it is FlipAlert Plus, but it's going to be in Orlando, and we're excited about that. And so
October.
So a question here, Exotic Daily Clips says, what tips do you have for a 17-year-old trying to get into wholesaling? Simple. Go to freewholesaling.com. Don't join FlipAlert Plus. You don't need to join FlipAlert Plus yet, right? Get a deal or two first, then join FlipAlert Plus, because you can just definitely get a connection and make $100,000. But I know we just talked about FlipAlert Plus. That's why I say don't join FlipAlert Plus if you're 17. What I want you to do is go to freewholesaling.com, close 2 deals, do everything I say in this challenge. like everything. Don't, oh, I said what to do for 30 minutes. I said what to do for 2 hours. Here's the question, man. You're 17. Are you going to do the 30 minutes of finding the market and the 2 hours of finding the buyers, or are you not going to do it? That's the question. I'm asking you a question here. Exotic daily tips. What are you going to do? Are you going to do it or you're not? If you're not, that's fine. That is an option, but that's an option that's going to get you nowhere. So you're asking me the opinion. Do what I say, and you'll be fine. Burns says, why is there so much anxiety with getting deep into wholesaling? Could you break that down or how to overcome it? I don't know exactly what you mean by anxiety getting deep into wholesaling. What I think is a lot of people have anxiety when they look at the process and they tend to overcomplicate it. For example, when we came into Amsterdam, we learned how to use the metro and we were all overwhelmed with it. And then you learn how easy it actually is.
You got to get off the train.
You got to get off and you learn how it works. And it's like, oh, this is simple. But because you're a beginner, it's like super complicated and crazy. And so the anxiety really is in, oh no, what if? And you guys get that anxiety of, what if the seller says this to me? What if the deal fall apart? What if this? And the what ifs are bad, but
you'll live, you'll survive, and you'll continue on. That's going to be the outcome.
Here's the other what if. What if you get rich? What if you make 20 grand in 20 days? Like the worst case scenario I see in wholesaling is you lose a deal. Best case scenario, you make 30 grand. Pretty easy.
The reality is you're just uncomfortable because you're not used to it. So when you go from comfortable to uncomfortable, it creates anxiety. It creates a whole lot of emotions that you've always associated with being negative. And the reality of people that want to press themselves and get outside that comfort zone, everything they want is just on the other side. But the truth is very few people will take that risk to get there. The only thing you're risking is your ego and hard work. So if you can give up your ego and commit to the hard work, you become free of your time and you will have money to solve problems that you could never solve before.
Exactly.
So it's all right up here, man. You just got to get past it. I promise. I've been doing this 21 years. I went through the same things you guys did. And the best thing to do is just keep doing it over and over. And then you create your own rules within inside you.
Exactly. Question here, Michael says, have you considered joining forces with a large real estate investing association like the National RIA, who actually does lobbying for investors, or create a legal fund if a wholesaler gets sued in the states with regulations? This is a great one. I love this question. Okay, Michael, do me a favor. I'm not saying this to be a jerk. Find me one wholesaler in any state that got arrested for signing contracts.
Yeah. And
no. Find me one wholesaler that got their wholesaling fee taken away for assigning contracts. Not fraud, not like something like, find me one guy who just wholesaled regular, but the government shut it down because they said it was illegal. Find me one guy where that happened. Well, Illinois is illegal. Okay, find me one guy in Illinois. Find me one guy. Find me one guy. Let me fund it and bring it to the Supreme Court. Let me do it. I can't. Michael, find me one guy.
And here's the problem. The National RIA, it's not what you think. Like, I got no problems with it, but like, I was a member of it for a long time. They are a company to make profit, and you basically pay to have them endorse you and advertise for you. It's the same thing as the Better Business Bureau, period. But it's not required to be in the Better Business Bureau. Actually, more than 3/4 of the national RIAs are not in the National RIA. It is just a form of advertisement, a third-party endorsement. And honestly, the National RIA, only a small percentage dedicated to wholesaling.
I agree. But Michael, more important, find me somebody that I can go push and pay a lawyer and then push it to the Supreme Court.
We've been looking. We can't find them.
I'm trying to find them.
We're searching.
Show me. I'm trying to find them.
I need a name, too.
Just tell me, like, I would love, guys, like, I would love to help you out. Just show me. I wish. And let's talk about the math here. For, let's say, a guy in Illinois who got attacked for the law that they passed. For me to bring that to the Supreme Court, how much does that cost?
A lot.
Maybe $1 million, right? Let's call it $1 million. Probably less. Probably less, right? Or maybe it goes all the way up to a high level.
6 figures, but you're going to spend a lot of hours.
Let's call it 6 figures. Let's call it 6 figures.
Attorneys litigate it.
If I had to go create a wholesaling union or a large lobbying association for all the laws, and I would have to lobby every single year, and I have to have a staff, and I have to have a CFO, and how much is that going to cost me? It would cost me
a lot more.
Tens
Tenfold.
of millions. And so
Tenfold.
The best way to make sure wholesaling is legal everywhere is for it to Supreme Court to do it, right? And so, for example, let's look at one law, right? They tried one, and let me. I don't get political, but like it is political how the Supreme Court works, right? If the Supreme Court said, if someone passed a law saying eating nachos is illegal, because I don't want to get political, guess what happens? I go to jail for eating nachos. It goes to Supreme Court. Supreme Court says, no, you can eat nachos. That's fine, right?
Thank God.
What would it be more expensive to create a nacho lovers association to protect nacho eating laws? Or why don't we just bring the Supreme Court, have the Supreme Court say it's legal, and then you're fine?
You're seeing case law.
That's it. And so if legislators get crazy, we have checks and balances, right? That's what. And so I remember once Supreme Court, they have this one. I ain't going to bring it up, but what I could say is they passed a crazy law. It's a political one, so I'm not going to say it. They passed a crazy law, and it was just ridiculous. Like it was ridiculously weird, but it was because one side of the political aisle.
Is it men's playing women's sports?
No.
Okay.
Okay. It's another one. But no, it was this divisive political issue. And it was stupid to make a lobby for it. And they just went to the Supreme Court that said, no, that's not legal, that you went way too far. And that's against the Constitution, because the Constitution is pretty black and white with things. And then boom, now it reversed, and now they can't enforce that stupid law. That's how it works. Like, you don't have to create a lobbying association for wholesaling, because just be honest, man, bring it to a court and see what they say.
Yep.
That's why that's why we have courts, right? Like, we don't have courts and it's not like, oh my God, you're a legislator, you do whatever you say. Like, no.
They write bad laws.
Right? Like, say I'm king. No, we have the Supreme Court to strike that down. And
checks and balances.
I tell anyone, find me one guy or gal and we'll bring it to the courts and see what they say. I'm a very betting man that I've read the Constitution and I've read the contract clause in the Constitution stating that everyone pretty much has free reign to write contracts. Now, there are some exceptions, but there's been nothing on there. I've seen all the case law with it. To stop a man or woman from writing a contract and or selling it, it ain't going to happen in the United States of America. I've read the Constitution. And I know we have 6 conservative Supreme Court justices. And so the bet is overwhelmingly, and I've talked to this, and I will say this nicely. I've talked to a lot of people that's all I'm going to say, nicely. And I've had conversations with people that you would not think I have. And I'm pretty much in 99% agreement in the wholesaling real estate educator space that the Supreme Court will never, ever, if they got the case of wholesaling be illegal, they would be on the side of wholesalers. 99% of everyone that you're listening about wholesaling is in agreement with that.
Maybe that's not why they're not enforcing it.
Right. So the disagreement I have with people, and I think it's a healthy one to have, is does that law make it technically illegal based on the law if there's no judge interfering, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're at. Everyone's in agreement. If it goes to Supreme Court, it'll be easily overturned. Wholesaling is fine. But here's the problem. I don't have one enforcement of the law because nobody's willing to enforce the law because the law is unconstitutional. That's all I'm going to say for it, but we're fine. Okay, that's it. And so, guys, if you want to learn wholesaling real estate for free, go to freewholesaling.com to join the information to see how to wholesale. If you join the community we got for free, go to Flipboard Plus, and we'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn signing out.
Do your homework, do the work, and get some wholesaling deals, guys. I really appreciate it. Love all your support. And